Welcome to our channel. Today, we embark on a journey through time and space to unravel one of the greatest mysteries of life on Earth, the theory of evolution. This isn't just a theory about where we came from, but a grand narrative of life itself. A story that spans billions of years and encompasses all forms of life, from the tiniest microorganisms to the largest mammals. At the heart of this story is Charles Darwin, a man whose revolutionary ideas forever changed our understanding of the natural world. His theory of evolution by natural selection provides a framework for understanding the complex and diverse tapestry of life on our planet. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of the mountains, from the smallest insect to the largest whale, every creature has a place in this grand narrative. Join us as we explore the groundbreaking ideas, scientific evidence, and implications of Charles Darwin's revolutionary theory. At its core, the theory of evolution proposes that all living organisms are connected through a process of descent with modification. Now let's break that down a bit. Imagine a tree, not a tree with leaves and roots, but a tree of life. At the base of this tree is the most ancient life form, and as we move up, we see branches representing different species. Each branch is a testament to the countless generations that have come before, each subtly different from the last. This is what we mean by descent with modification. Now let's talk about the tools that life uses to shape these branches. Mechanisms like natural selection and genetic drift. Imagine a population of beetles. Some are green and some are brown. In a forest environment, the green beetles are more likely to survive and reproduce because they blend in with the leaves, escaping the notice of predators. This is natural selection in action, the process where traits that improve survival or reproduction become more common in a population over generations. Genetic drift, on the other hand, is a bit like a biological lottery. It's the random change in the frequency of traits in a population, especially in small populations. Say a few brown beetles, just by chance, have more offspring than the green beetles one generation. This could lead to more brown beetles in the next generation, just by luck of the draw. These mechanisms, along with others like mutation and migration, drive the evolution of species. They're the forces that shape the tree of life, guiding each branch as it reaches towards the future. It's a slow process, often taking millions of years to see dramatic changes. Over millions of years, species have evolved and adapted to their environments through natural selection, genetic drift, and other mechanisms. To understand the diversity and complexity of life on Earth, we must understand the power of these evolutionary processes. It's a journey through deep time, a story written in the DNA of every living thing, and it's a story that's still being written today. The story of evolution begins with Charles Darwin, a naturalist who embarked on a 5-year journey aboard the HMS Beagle in the 19th century. An adventurous spirit, Darwin was just 22 years old when he set sail from England in 1831. This voyage would take him around the world, from the tropical islands of the Pacific to the rugged landscapes of South America. As Darwin explored these varied environments, he was struck by the vast diversity of life on Earth. He observed finches with different beak shapes on the Galapagos Islands, fossils of extinct creatures high in the Andes, and countless species of plants and animals that seemed perfectly adapted to their habitats. These observations sparked a radical idea in Darwin's mind. He began to question the prevailing belief of his time that species were fixed and unchanging. Instead, he proposed that species could change over time, adapting to their environments in a process he called natural selection. But Darwin didn't rush to publish his ideas. He spent nearly 2 decades refining his theory, gathering more evidence, and grappling with the implications of his revolutionary ideas. He knew his theory would challenge deeply held beliefs about the nature of life and the origin of species. Finally, in 1859, Darwin published his seminal work, On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection. This book shook the scientific world and set the stage for a new understanding of life on Earth. Darwin argued that all organisms have descended from common ancestors, and that this descent involves gradual changes over vast periods of time. Darwin's theory of evolution was met with both acclaim and controversy. While some hailed it as a groundbreaking insight into the workings of nature, others saw it as a threat to traditional religious views. But over time, as more evidence accumulated, the scientific community came to accept evolution as the cornerstone of biology. Inspired by the diversity of life he encountered during his travels, Darwin developed his groundbreaking theory of evolution by natural selection. Today, over a century and a half later, Darwin's theory remains one of the most powerful and influential ideas in science, paving the way for our modern understanding of the natural world. Since Darwin's time, scientists have amassed a wealth of evidence supporting the theory of evolution. This evidence comes from a wide variety of scientific fields, each revealing its unique piece of the puzzle. Let's start with fossil records. Fossils act as a window to the past, providing us with physical evidence of life forms that lived millions of years ago. By examining fossils, paleontologists have been able to trace the evolution of organisms, observing changes in structure and form over geological timescales. This record of past life forms is consistent with the theory of evolution, showing gradual changes and the emergence of new species over time. Next, we have comparative anatomy. This field involves comparing the structures of different organisms to understand their evolutionary relationships. For instance, the bone structure in the limbs of humans, bats, whales, and birds are remarkably similar, suggesting a common ancestor. This concept, known as homology, is a powerful indicator of descent with modification, a key aspect of evolution. Embryology offers another layer of evidence. By studying the development of embryos, scientists have noticed similarities across various species. For example, fish, birds, reptiles, and mammals all share similar embryonic stages, hinting at a shared evolutionary history. These common embryonic patterns suggest that different species have evolved from a common ancestor. Finally, molecular biology has given us some of the most compelling evidence for evolution. Through the study of DNA, scientists have been able to determine the degree of relatedness between different species. The more similar the DNA, the more closely related the species are thought to be. This genetic evidence reinforces the idea of common ancestry and provides a detailed map of evolutionary relationships. Fossil records, comparative anatomy, embryology, and molecular biology all provide compelling evidence for the gradual change and divergence of species over time. Each piece of evidence, from the ancient remnants of past life to the very code of life itself, paints a coherent and convincing picture of evolution. The theory of evolution has far-reaching implications for our understanding of the natural world and our place within it. This profound statement is not just about biology, but also about the very fabric of our society. The idea that all life on Earth is interconnected through a complex web of evolutionary relationships has revolutionized how we view ourselves and the world around us. It has reshaped our understanding of biology, directing research in fields as diverse as medicine, ecology, and conservation. In medicine, for example, understanding the evolutionary history of diseases can guide the development of new treatments and prevention strategies. In ecology and conservation, recognizing the evolutionary relationships between species can inform efforts to protect biodiversity and ecosystem health. Beyond biology, the theory of evolution challenges us to rethink traditional notions of human uniqueness and superiority, promoting a more humble and respectful attitude towards other forms of life. From the origins of life to the diversity of species, evolution offers a comprehensive framework for explaining the complexity and interconnectedness of life on Earth. Despite overwhelming scientific evidence, the theory of evolution remains a topic of controversy and debate in some circles. One common misconception that fuels this controversy is the misunderstanding of the term survival of the fittest. In the context of evolution, fittest doesn't mean the most physically strong or fastest, but rather those best adapted to their environment. Another misconception is the idea that evolution is just a theory. In scientific parlance, a theory is a well-substantiated explanation of some aspect of the natural world, based on a body of evidence. It's not a guess or a hunch, but a rigorous explanation tested and refined over time. And let's not forget the false dichotomy that evolution and religious beliefs are mutually exclusive. Many religious individuals and groups accept the scientific validity of evolution and see no conflict with their faith. However, understanding the theory of evolution is essential for navigating our rapidly changing world. As we've seen, the theory of evolution is a cornerstone of modern biology, providing a unifying framework for understanding the diversity and complexity of life on Earth. It's a tale of time, change, and adaptation, tracing the intricate web of life from the simplest organisms to the dazzling array of species we see today. From Charles Darwin's revolutionary ideas to the wealth of scientific evidence that supports them, The theory of evolution has shaped our understanding of the world. It's shown us the power of natural selection, the role of genetic drift, and the impact of environmental changes on the development of species. Yet, the journey doesn't end here. The story of evolution is still being written, with new discoveries and insights emerging all the time. As we continue to explore this fascinating theory, we gain not only knowledge, but also a deeper appreciation for the beauty and interconnectedness of the natural world.